4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Now, in this article here, I read, Jaxson Dart's first start already, is it penciled in already? Well, according to this article, it might be. And the reason why is because the guy says the Giants are in for a long season. Now, once they start get out of the gates, and they're after, I can't remember if they're like 8, 9, 10 weeks into the season or something like that. It says this article, they're pretty much out of it because of their tough schedule. They're not very good and all that stuff and everything. So the season's over with, right? They pull out Russell Wilson, insert Jaxson Dart. So we will have to wait and see, but it's possible. I mean, you don't want it to be, but it's possible. That we'll go over their schedule. It's not easy. Yeah, there's that's a win. Yeah, up, that's another one. Yeah, we got 3 more wins. You know. Jaxson Dart may already have his debut date circled on the Giants' calendar. When can we expect Jaxson Dart to hit the field this year? Entering the 2025 season, there is one thing on every New York Giants fan's mind this season. When will we see Jaxson Dart make his NFL debut? Despite signing Russell Wilson to a 1-year deal and Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal during the offseason, the G-men shocked the world when they traded up in the draft to select Dart with the 25th overall pick. After 6 mediocre years with Daniel Jones at the helm, there has been a ton of excitement surrounding Dart, thanks to the solid collegiate career he put together at Ole Miss and the clear upside he brings as talent. Even though Brian Daboll has already stated Wilson will be New York's starting quarterback on opening day, fans would certainly love to see Dart sooner rather than later in the hopes he can be their starting franchise signal caller. But when would be an ideal time for his first start? Aha! Giants expected to hand keys to Dart after season slips away. In an article for Giants on SI, Alex House predicted that Big Blue's Week 11 matchup against Green Bay Packers will be the game when Dart makes his highly anticipated debut. House's analysis centers around how far back the Giants will be in the NFC East late in the season, stating, therefore, it is reasonable to assume that a quarterback change will be made if and when New York falls behind in the NFC standings, House wrote. Losing week after week would force Giants management to see co-owner John Manners' approval via another way. An impressive showing by a rookie signal caller might do the trick. Yes, that's true, to keep their jobs. Right? With the Giants facing the NFL's toughest strength of schedule, it wouldn't be a surprise if they have another rough season on their hands. If the G-men are out of the playoff picture by week 11, that could be the perfect time for Dart to get his first taste of the NFL action. Now, their bye week isn't until late. I think it's week 14 or something like that. Yeah, week 14. The only one thing about that week 14 bye week, right, would be if we were still in the playoff hunt, then all the way toward the end of the season, you have a week off to maybe get some bumps and bruises a little healed up in time for that playoff push. But he's saying week 11. So he's kind of saying that quite possibly by that point in time, the Giants might be like 3-7, maybe 2-8 or something like that. With 7 games, if we're 2-8, and we got 7 games left to go in the season, right? Even if we won all 7, we'd only be 9-8, still probably not make the playoffs. So, right? If we're 3-7, we got 7 games left to go. I mean, how many of those final 7 games do you think we're going to wind up winning? Maybe 3 of them. We still finished 5. But so to put Dart in there and just to get a little ray of hope right? For the fans, the fan base, the management, the owners, and all that stuff, and say, I'll tell you what, this past the last couple of games, he came on. I don't know. I saw a little, don't get too carried away. Saw a little bit of Eli in there. I don't know. We might have ourselves here something. And it's like, well, we got to bring back the same guys who were teaching them this season. Got to bring them back for next season. Got to keep them with Dart. See what's going on. So, all right, where we at here? Okay. New York is counting on Dart to pan out, and at some point during the season, he's going to have to start in the live games. While Wilson brings far more upside than what the Giants have had at quarterback in recent years, he's not the future. And if the Giants are nowhere near a playoff spot by week 11 or so, that seems like the right time for Dart to suit up. Yep. All right, so now if we look here, right? I mean, you look at the schedule. Now, once again, I can't stand, because I've drank the Kool-Aid before too. Like the past couple of years, I know what I'm saying, like, after we were 9-7-1, I'm like, what, man, we should win at least another game. We should be at least 10-7. I mean, we should be hovering right around there. I mean, we drafted well. We got some better players. We were 9-7-1. We should be better. We went backwards. And after we were 6-11, right? I'm like, man, we got better. We drafted. We should we got rid of Saquon, but we should be at least 6 wins. Nope, 3 wins. It's like, what the? So we're going backwards. So I mean, I drank the Kool-Aid before, thinking, oh no, we should be better. We should be good, and we wound up stinking. So. But I mean, if you look right off the bat here, right, we're playing the Washington and we're playing Dallas. Now, with any luck last year, we could have beaten Washington at least one of those times, right? One of these times, we got to beat the Cowboys. I mean, they are not a good football team. Just straight up, they're just not a good football team. You figure just by luck, somewhere along the line, ball's going to bounce our way against Dallas, or going to get a bad call against Dallas or something, and just something's going to happen where the Giants are just going to get lucky. I'm not saying we're beating the Eagles in either one of these games, but somewhere along we actually got to beat the Cowboys. I mean, because they're not a good team, really. Right? I'm not saying they're going to win 2 games, but I mean they're not. We're not talking Super Bowl contenders here. Okay. It just seems like each year they seem like they just keep getting worse and worse and worse. Right? So we're playing Washington and Dallas, right? But then we got to play Kansas City. We got to play, Kansas City and the Chargers are both at home. And I said, when we played Washington last year in Washington, if we actually had a kicker, we probably would have won that game, right? But we got to play Kansas City and Los Angeles, the Chargers at home, right? Then we got to play in New Orleans. Now, they don't have a quarterback or a real solid good one, right? So, right, then we got to play the Eagles. So you can pretty much forget about that. We haven't beat the Eagles since Jesus Christ walked the earth. I don't see the Giants ever beating the Eagles ever again. So that's a loss. Then we got to play in Denver. Now, what Denver did last season was pretty good, right? So it should have a very good team. Now we're going to be playing out in Denver. So then, of course, somewhere along the line, I don't know why. It's amazing. We're playing the Eagles 2 times in 3 weeks. I don't know, but at least thankfully we'll be getting them over with and over and done with. So that's another loss. Then we're playing San Francisco. Now, if San Francisco can actually stay healthy, they got themselves a great coach and they got themselves a really good team. They lost some guys this year, but they still, with Shanahan as the coach, if they can stay healthy, unlike last year, they were not able to stay healthy, them and the Lions, right? Beating the 49ers is going to be tough. Then we're playing Chicago. You don't know about that, right? So, we could maybe have 3 wins, maybe 4 wins out of those first 10 games. I don't know if we're 4-6. Do you pull the plug on the season? Because then we have Green Bay at home. Then we have to play in Detroit. Then we have to play in New England now. So I don't know. Yeah. Then we have to play Washington at home. Then we got to play Minnesota at home. Then we got to play out in Vegas. Then we got to play the last game of the year is in Dallas. So yeah, I mean, between New England, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Vikings, Detroit, Green Bay. I mean, there's some tough games there as well too. So I mean, once again, I don't see how many games the Giants are going to wind up winning. But I mean, it's a good point. There's a good point there. Maybe possibly week 11. I said if we're 3-7, the final 7 games, would we win all 7 games? No, it's not happening. Even when we 6-1, we started 3-7, and we started 6, and we ended 6-1 by some miracle of God. We'd be 9-8, and I don't even know if we make the playoffs. So it's going to be one of those. It's a tricky situation, it really is, because you got guys giving their heart and souls. You got these veterans and all that. And you basically you got to go in there and tell them basically a little bit more than halfway through the season, we're pulling the plug on the season, guys. Sorry, season's over. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to the playoffs. We're going to put put our hopefully future quarterback in there and see what he can do. Right, so this season's over with. So it's pretty tough. So it's a tricky situation, but be interesting to see. When Dart does wind up getting in there, because it's probably. More and more you hear, right? It's not a question if, it's a question of when Dart gets put in there.